So hopefully all of you had a wonderful weekend. It is Monday, October 3rd, 3:39 p.m. Central Standard Time if you're watching us live. Overall, crypto market cap sitting at $938 billion. Bitcoin dominance at 39.8%. ETH dominance at 17.2%. Bitcoin did see some volatility this weekend, pardon me. Right now, sitting at 19,500. ETH at 1316, 1317. BNB at 286. Cardano at 42.43 Solana at $33. Matic just barely over 80 cents. Overall, market hasn't moved too much since last time we streamed, but we can see that here in the past few hours, Bitcoin has rallied from its lows this weekend. Pardon me, didn't mean to hit that. We can see that Bitcoin has rallied a bit from its lows this weekend when we saw it go below 19,000. We can see in the past few hours it's gotten above 19,500, but it keeps wanting to retest this line of support right around 19,550. Will the bulls put in a series of higher highs? Time will tell. Looking at the 1 hour chart, we do still have significant ways to go to see some upside action. First, we need to get above 19,800. And then we can probably try and expect something around 20,000, 20,200. That's probably the next line, and then 20,400 and onwards. But I don't think we're going to be going upwards again in the short term. I think we will see some more downside pressure. We do have CPI numbers for the month of September coming out in about 2 weeks' time, so we'll report that when those numbers come out. But again, Bitcoin has quite the journey to go before we are in high hopes. Headed over to the news. Income from tourism in El Salvador grew a whopping 52% in 2021. Wonder why that is? Probably because they made Bitcoin legal tender and they were the first country in the world to do so. Bitcoin's hash rate going bonkers. It's up a whopping 42.7% year to date. Very, very good. Hash rate going up is good for the network as a whole. NYDIG just raised $720 million from institutions to buy Bitcoin, so whopping almost $750 million going to be making its way into Bitcoin. We don't know the time frame exactly, but very good to see that institutions are slowly piling into Bitcoin, understanding the technology, the scarcity behind it, etc., in comparison to the currencies that we use today. Crypto broker Celsius founder Alex Mashinsky withdrew a whopping $10 million from the firm weeks before freezing customer accounts and declaring bankruptcy. So he took his 10 mil and got out, but he basically ran with the whole idea that, Celsius was too good to fail, essentially, that there's no way it could go under, but he took his 10 million and got out and was, you know, at least he gets his money. That I don't get how people like him are able to do this. Like how do governments not just take them and throw them in jail immediately and recoup that money? I don't understand that concept personally. I think it's criminal that the founder or the creator or the CEO or whatever can walk away with this much money. Meanwhile, people like you and me that actually invested in the platform, the product, if you want to call it that, we get nothing. We get maybe a few pennies. Here we have Alexander Lorenzo saying everyone wants 100x, but did you know 10% a month on a $30,000 account is financial independence? Learn cash flow. It's all about learning, ways to make passive income. If you could make a 10% yield per month on 30 grand, you're making, you do the math. It could be 300, depending on the time interval, it could be 300 or it could be a whopping $3,000 that you're making every month, depending on how you set that up. So just something to consider. Might want to look into passive income if you can do it. 2-year Sharp ratio risk adjusted returns. Bitcoin has the highest return at 0.79, S&P 500 at 0.5, gold is actually negative 0.59, US Treasury bonds negative 1.31. So not a good look for gold nor bonds and nor the S&P 500, to be honest. Bitcoin is the go-to. SEC chair coming out saying most of these tokens are securities based on the facts and circumstances. Crypto winter is coming if it's not already here. Solana's network did see a 6-hour outage this weekend. It is now back online and functioning and stuff, but not a good look for Solana. They seem to be going down at least once or twice per quarter. And personally, I've kind of lost some faith in Solana. I sold some, if I'm being 100% with you, and going to put that money towards other projects. But look at this. CZ from Binance says there are no banks here, but there is crypto now. Let's just let this sink in, okay? These people here, they don't know what a bank is, but they're somewhat familiar with crypto. Like how mind-boggling is that? That's pretty wild, and that's I'm sure this is not the only place that CZ is outreaching to at this current point in time. Because if he can reach people that are unbanked and get them on the crypto train, it's just going to expedite the process from central banks to crypto, because the reality of the situation is most people here in the Western world and across the globe, for that matter, are accustomed to the big central banks. That's all. That's what they know. That's what they unfortunately trust, because they've had their money there so long. So they're less likely to take that leap of faith towards crypto. Meanwhile, these people here, and I don't know what country this is, I'm assuming this is in Africa, somewhere. These people have never dealt with the banks, so they don't know how banks operate, and so there's less of a leap of faith towards a new technology when it comes to crypto for people who have never been exposed to banks. Here we have former Google CEO Eric Schmidt saying Chainlink has better technology and scales better than other cryptocurrency competitors. This is rather bullish news for Chainlink. This is one of the altcoins that I am stacking through the bear run. I think Chainlink is a protocol that is here to stay. Not financial advice, just my 2 cents. Coinbase users just yesterday were unable to make payments or withdraw funds using U.S. banks. It's coming from Bloomberg. Is this the writing on the wall that something big is going to happen? I don't know, but they fixed the problem, so you can now do bank account withdrawals and payment issues if you're here in the U.S. So, um, yeah. Happy Monday, my Bitcoin LGBT friends. This is taking the one of the terms in pop culture and just spinning on its head. We have liberty for L, G is for guns, B is for Bitcoin, and T is for titties. Um, Once you join the dots or connect them, you will see that ultimately what the government's doing with inflation, supply chain issues. It all leads to a central banking digital currency. And the reality is, when the government can control your money, they can control you. And that's the ultimate game plan in all of this. Hashtag CBDCs. It's pretty alarming. US home prices posted their back to back biggest month over month drops since 2009. Just let that sink. That was the last time we saw a recession. Together, they represent two straight months of significant pullbacks after more than 2 years of record breaking growth. So we can see that we we had these huge spikes following COVID as more and more people put things into perspective and wanted to potentially move away from the cities, work from home. They don't need to be so close to the office if they can live at home, or if they can work from home and do their work there. Um, it's not a good sign for the housing crisis. I think this is just the beginning. I think we still have a good 6 to 12 months before we see some sort of bottom. It may not be the bottom we want, but